Hello, my friends. I'm Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. And today, I think it would be nice to have like a little pep talk. This will be a little pep talk from Spirit, I guess. So, yeah, we'll see like what Spirit wants to pep up your energy with, or your mindset, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Also, to start it off, my shirt says, "Be kind to your mind." So maybe that's a little message there for you. All right, so let's just dive right in. Please and thank you, Spirit. What can you give our collective a pep talk about? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, yeah, we got a few things. Wow, okay. Interesting. This is really interesting. Okay, starting out. Three of Pentacles. Oh. Gotta make sure I don't have lipstick in my teeth. Excuse me. Confirmation burp. Although I haven't said anything yet. Three of Pentacles. You might be working with others or something, or you're really good with working with others. Two of Cups, so maybe there's a little bit of love in the air. The Ace of Wands, so maybe some sort of like passion project or something, or an idea. Three of Swords, you may have been going through some sort of hard time in love. But I mean, that seems like it's switching around because this is the Four of Wands, which is all about union, baby. Or celebrating your own personal milestones as well. I kind of see the Four of Wands as that as well. Ace of Pentacles, this is like full of new beginnings, okay? The bottom of the deck is the Five of Swords. So maybe you went through some, like, something that was pretty substantial that really hurt you recently. Or maybe it's just coming back up. It could be something from the past that is like getting triggered even in your mind. Like maybe things externally have been triggering you. Yeah, let's just start clarifying. Starting out with that Three of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do you got? What's that one? No freaking way. No. The Two of Cups comes out to clarify the Three of Pentacles. And we had the Two of Cups earlier, so double. I don't know how to say this. Oh, yeah. Somebody really likes you. And if you're like already in a contented relationship, this could just be strengthening that bond even more so. Honestly, that Three of Pentacles being clarified by the Two of Cups, I think somebody that you either work really closely to, maybe just in proximity, or somebody that you directly work with sees you as their like divine counterpart here with that Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is such a beautiful energy, to be honest. Evil. I don't know where that word came from, because what I was trying to say is even, give and take. You know, equal reciprocity, equal power in the relationship, like nobody's above the other. Like it's such a beautiful partnership. So I mean, it's also possible that if you're like trying to find somebody to work with right now, like career-wise, you might find your perfect match for like a coworker even. Like even if it's not romantic, but I do feel like it's pretty significantly romantic because the Two of Cups came out twice. But you know, I guess apply it how you see fit. Like this could apply as opposed to like a career, or like somebody in your job like working with you that is like a really good match for you, and you're both like giving equally to some sort of like group project perhaps. And also I feel like there is a message because of the Three of Pentacles. I think that you work really well with others. I feel like that's something that Spirit really wants to assure you of. So maybe if you have some sort of like group project if you have some sort of group project coming up even, this could be or maybe you have to collaborate, or just like maybe you're forced into a situation that's not ideal, but you have to work with others. But I feel like Spirit really wants to tell you that you're really good at working with others. So like have confidence in what you do, because it seems like Yeah, I think you're very talented when it comes to working with others. I think you have a way of like being very down to earth and not like the person that just gives the orders or like the person. Um, you might also hold people accountable. Yeah, you might hold people accountable when you're working with them. Like maybe you've been that person in the past that like put in all the work and then everybody else got the credit. But I feel like maybe now you've reached a point in your life where you're like turning to your teammates and you're like, we better all be given, equal amount here. um, so like also trust that as well. Like if you feel like somebody that you're working with is not putting in as much effort as you, then maybe approach the subject with them. So while I was trying to explain that, I accidentally, well, I don't know exactly how it happened, but it slipped out of the deck. So we got the King of Pentacles here as well. This could be some sort of boss? Well, I could see this in a few different ways, I mean. So if it is platonic, and maybe within the career sphere, your job or whatever you do, maybe something about working together with the right people impresses your boss, and maybe there's something about that. Okay, that was also a random download that I just got. They may see you as manager material or like, boss material because of the way that you work with others. So I sense that could be something here. But if this is romantic, which it feels like it could very well be, yeah. So if this is romantic, which I feel like it could be, somebody who you work in close proximity to or somebody that you directly work with feels like you would make a very good match for them. And they could be, maybe, this could mean a few different things actually. This could simply indicate that maybe they're older than you. This could indicate that they are a boss. Maybe it's specifically in their own department, because that's also another thing. Maybe you like work in the same building, but you're like in completely different departments or something. So it could be that like maybe they're not directly your boss, but they're somebody else's boss. That's possible. But this is a very mature, grounded energy, like very much a good person to have this sort of romantic, equal give and take with. Like this is somebody that's very respectable, and very confident in their own abilities for sure. They also might be really well known in their own community or in this career sphere. I like saying career sphere, I don't know why. Maybe because it rhymes. But also I kind of see like they could even be like that. I don't even know how to explain something like that. Like it's almost like maybe like it could even be like maybe you work at a store and then somebody that works at the store next door. I don't know why I keep rhyming. It's not intentional. But like the store next door person that works there could have like some sort of crush on you, because like I'm getting like it could even just be physical proximity. Maybe you two aren't even in the same career, in the same workspace, but it's somebody that like, okay, yeah, because of the Three of Pentacles, so most likely it has something to do with like your community. So somebody that you would see regularly or fairly regularly. I feel like it's definitely somebody that is around you in proximity, which could be career, could be outside of a career potentially as well. But somebody that knows you and you know them. I don't know if you know them very well, because it feels like maybe it's a little bit more formal, the way in which you interact. But yeah, there's definitely somebody that sees huge potential here working with you. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. So this could be you, because this is a pep talk reading. Maybe you recently went through something really difficult. Like this is the 10 of Swords. This is major stuff. Incredibly painful. Probably the most pain that you can experience in one of these cards. A lot of betrayal even. Okay. Okay, so maybe one of you, I'm getting that somebody here might actually have extreme, like this extreme, extremely painful ending could have been actually a career or a job that you had. Because this feels really devastating. But with the Three of Pentacles as your first card coming out, I think there are more job opportunities for you. And so if that was the case, maybe if you like maybe just recently either quit or got fired from a job that was like really burning you out, like really, you know, destroying, I think this really destroyed your mental health, because 10 swords, that's a lot. That's a lot of mental baggage here. So I'm getting that download specifically. So that could be what this message could be about. If this is not romantic, this could be you finding a new work environment, and in which maybe you feel more of like a sense of community. And I feel like you're gonna feel like it's a really good match for you. And you may even get some sort of promotion up to like a manager position, or your boss sees a lot of potential in you. You could become like their protege or something. No, because like that's actually a really nice message. So Spirit wasn't fooling when I said pep talk. So yeah, I feel like if you did go through something really rough recently about like a career or job or whatever, I really am seeing like Spirit's like, you're good. I think this is exactly what needed to happen, because I feel like you cleared out something that was just destroying you, and it wasn't building you up to be better or more successful or anything like that. I think it was just taking away from you. And even though that ending is extremely painful, obviously nobody wants to lose a job. Nobody wants to have to make that sort of change. But I feel like Spirit is really here to tell you that something much better is coming along to fill that, you know? And like, I really love the Ten of Swords because you can read into it to be such a positive message. You know, even if you are at your lowest point, everything seems dark and bleak, the sun is rising. There's always an opportunity to start over again. Like a new dawn is a new day, and a new day is a new opportunity. So I feel like that's definitely what Spirit would want to reassure you about, is that even if you're struggling, even if it feels really painful right now, it's like exactly what needed to happen. And I think you're going to have way more success at this new job or whatever it is, and I feel like you're gonna excel, and you're gonna find that it's a perfect fit for you. Yeah. So yeah, any way you spin this is really good. Also, if this is romantic, you know, and maybe this is like more so like a romantic devastation that you went through, or maybe somebody around you went through a dramatic ending. But either way, whatever this painful ending was, or this low point, or, you know, this feeling of like either betrayal, grief, something here, I think the message is pretty much the same. Spirit just wants you to never give up, you know? And even if it looks super bleak and dark right now, the sun is going to rise again. And when that sun rises, you have a new opportunity to try again, or to experience things from a different perspective, you know? Okay, let's go on to the Two of Cups then. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do we got for that Two of Cups? Anything else for that Two of Cups? Thank you. Oh my. Anything else? I'll take those. So there's a few more that came out, but I just need to show you the ones that came out first because this is incredible. Clarifying that Two of Cups. The Justice card. And the Emperor. That is some nice energy right there. Like, there's more that came out, but those I really want to focus on for a second because thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, like any way you spin this is really awesome. Like, okay, so let's start out with if it's romance, because that seems the most obvious. I'm getting such a beautiful download from the Justice card. you may have been waiting for this sort of divine match. This could have been something that you've been waiting for a really long time. And I sense that you probably had a really rough go at it, because now the Justice card is here to say, finally it's your turn to receive love. I feel almost like it, is it called exacerbated? Or it's like you've been like holding out for something, or maybe you've just been trying to stay hopeful when it comes to romance in your life, but you haven't like seen like the results maybe or something. Like I feel like you've been very disappointed in love, maybe for a long time, but that is changing for you. This feels like good karma coming in, especially when it comes to love. And then the Emperor came out. Like whoever this is, they mean business. This is somebody who is very experienced, very wise, very well respected, holds a lot of power, but is very confident and self-assured. And even though they have a lot of power, they do not abuse it. The Emperor upright is always a good person. This could be somebody that's a little bit strong-headed. Like maybe like a, how do I say that? There's something intense about this person, I sense. Because for some reason I'm being drawn to the ram's head, and so it's giving me a message about like, they might be a little bit headstrong. Like headstrong, yeah. Like it's almost like they know who they are and they aren't apologizing for that. But it feels like a good thing. It feels like this person just knows who they are, what they want to do. Like this is somebody that does not have confusion. This is not somebody that's, I mean, hell, they might not even be insecure. I mean, everybody is to a degree. But maybe this person doesn't even, I don't know. Maybe they just don't let their insecurities stop them or something, because this is somebody that is really confident. At the very least, this is somebody that is very confident in what they do. Like very much like what I'm trying to emphasize about the Emperor is that this is somebody that is a really good match for you, and somebody that is, well, somebody that's a really hard worker as well. And so like I feel like they're gonna want somebody to match that energy. So I feel like, especially with my collective always shows up as the Empress and stuff. So like this is somebody that will be a really good match to you. Ooh, interesting. So the other cards that came out, we have the Nine of Swords, the Moon card, Magician, Knight of Cups. This is so interesting because I feel like this is kind of telling us like what this Emperor is doing right now. Or this is like their little journey. The Emperor. Did I say Empress? I meant to say Emperor. The Emperor. This is like their little journey here. They were like overthinking something, or something was like really stressing them out for a while. It could have been simply trying to make this work, like by coming towards you or something. Maybe they had to figure out a game plan, but they weren't sure how to figure that out, or maybe there was a lot of like mental confusion. Could have been outside obstacles as well, playing a part in that. But it seemed like they were really stressed out. And could have been overthinking for a long time as well. Really stuck in their head. And then the Moon card comes in, and I feel like almost like this person could have like fallen off the face of the earth for a period of time, which is a funny expression, but feels fitting. Like there was a time of darkness where like, yeah, like this person went dark for a little while, but like not in a bad way. Maybe they took a step back. Maybe they stopped talking or communicating with you for a period of time. Because something was hidden. You weren't sure what was going on with this person. They could have had to wrestle with some sort of insecurity or fear. And maybe that's like going through that process is what brought them into their emperor mode. Because like working through those insecurities on a personal level before approaching you, so that they could be at their best when they come towards you. The moon also deals with emotions, so maybe this was somebody that was not comfortable with their emotions, or not comfortable with expressing them, or even admitting that they have emotions like that. But then after the moon card, we have the Magician and the Knight of Cups. So clearly, this person really, really, really wants this. Like, they want to manifest this because they feel like it could even be, like, this connection between the two of you could have been sent from the divine in their mind. Like, the match made in heaven, literally, is what I'm getting. And then the Knight of Cups is them actually putting in that effort to come towards you to express themselves. There's also something about like a spiritual awakening or enlightenment. Maybe a different, like a change in perspectives. More divine, more enlightened perspectives on things. More hopeful. Definitely feels more hopeful. Yeah, it could have been like this person like working through their mental and their emotional stuff in the background where you couldn't see it. And now they're like ready to manifest this, make it happen, make it come into reality. And so now they're like putting in that effort. And they're serious about that effort because at the bottom of the deck, the Chariot. Again, I'm getting something about like a divine connection here. Like, this person feels like you're part of their destiny, part of their fate. Definitely part of their future. The Chariot, yeah, is like, this person's like ready to come in towards you. And the Knight of Cups as well, yeah. Those are both telling us that this person's ready to move. They're ready to make their move. Yeah, I feel like this person had some sort of like spiritual awakening or something. Because it feels almost like... Well, actually, because this is all clarifying the Two of Cups, I'm almost thinking that this is the connection that kind of sparked this person's spiritual awakening or something. And I think it's probably because of how intense this person felt about this connection. I don't know why, but I'm getting the message love at first sight. That could apply. And again, if this is a platonic situation, I'll read it from that perspective as well. So since the Two of Cups came up in the first row, I'm thinking, if this is a platonic situation, it could be that this job that is a very good match to you is like bringing you a great sense of justice karmically. And with that Emperor card, again, I'm getting the message that either you could be up for promotion through this job, or maybe there's a lot of like opportunities to expand, grow and stuff within this company or whatever it is. Or you have a boss that is very impressed with you. And that alone could even create that amount of justice that you feel. And with the Nine of Swords and the Moon card, you know, going through a time of like really tumultuous mental health, you know, definitely losing sleep at night because there was a lot that you couldn't see, a lot that you didn't know, you know, before coming into this career or whatever it is for you. And then maybe you realize that it was a manifestation for you. So maybe even if it was really painful, losing a job or having to leave a job or something, I think you're realizing you're gaining a lot of clarity about it now, where you're like, me getting rid of that job or leaving that job actually helped clear out that energy so that the new job that actually is meant for me comes in and is a good fit for me. Because the Magician is all about that manifestation. So maybe you manifested a job without you even being conscious of it, you know? And maybe when you get into that job, you're going to feel like it's such a perfect fit for you that you're like, this has to be some sort of manifestation, because like, how in the hell did I ever land this job, you know, kind of thing. And with the Knight of Cups, you could receive a lot of like praise from your coworkers or like, again, managers, whatever. But I'm also getting, because like there is a bunch of there's a lot of creativity that comes with the Knight of Cups. So maybe this is more of like a job in which it allows you to be more creative, allows you to explore your creativity, expand your creativity, maybe practice your creativity to a degree. Like it feels like it could be something that is very much like more your speed is what I'm getting. Like maybe something that is way more aligned to who you are as a person and what your personal skills are. Like it feels like it's so much more, like I feel like it's gonna allow you to feel a sense of freedom as well, because there's something about like being able to do your thing and having that be celebrated. And with the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, it could be that this job or whatever it is, this opportunity, could be coming in faster than you realize. Also, I'm getting the message that if it is like some sort of job or, you know, whatever, it could be that like once you start putting yourself out there again, that's when it all comes to you. So maybe this could even be something about like, you know, taking that first step, taking that action, applying for places that you may really love to work for, but maybe you don't have as much work experience or something, but applying to those anyways and then receiving like maybe like a call back or something, and then like everything takes off from there. Like it feels like if you just do a little bit of work in that direction of like trying to find something that is, you know, more for you, more of your style, more of your that fits your personality better and all that, like it feels like as like if you just take that first step, everything will fall together perfectly as it's supposed to. So that could be that. Yeah, so if it's platonic, it could be something like that where it's a job. Yeah, that's a pretty message too. I like that. So let's go on to the Ace of Wands now. Please and thank you. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is that Ace of Wands trying to tell the collective? Please and thank you for their pep talk. Ace of Wands, pep talk, please and thank you. Let's see. Interesting. So clarifying the Ace of Wands is the Eight of Swords. I instantly forgot. Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Four of Cups. Oh, I see what's happening here. So you have a new beginning here in passion, but this could be something that is kind of triggering for you. It may get you very stuck in your head, very confused, definitely overthinking. And these could be like mindsets or opinions, ideas that are very old but like come back. Maybe they're triggered. And this could be definitely related to the love situation of if somebody does come towards you and you have this opportunity for this new passionate beginning, it could be kind of scary at first for you. You may start finding that your old wounds are being triggered. Those mindsets that you thought you had gotten rid of are coming back up. Maybe feelings of uncertainty and insecurity even. Oh, this is interesting. I'm almost getting that if this is somebody, it could be somebody in the collective that has been single for a while, or maybe they're just getting comfortable being single. So maybe they're feeling like they're scared to break out of their comfort zone. So that could be somebody here. somebody in the collective that is like afraid to break out of their comfort zone. So maybe you've been doing like your self-healing, you know, your own self-work and stuff, and maybe when this new opportunity arises, it could be kind of scary because maybe you have some sort of like routine that you do and it just involves yourself, or you know, and then you suddenly have to take into consideration another person. You're like, wait, I don't know if I'm ready for that huge adjustment. So it could be that you're kind of like questioning whether or not this passionate new beginning is for you or not. Especially with that Queen of Pentacles, like you're very much in your power, you're very much like self-assured, you have things pretty much held down on your own, and you have such a peace and tranquility about you that I feel like you're almost worried that that peace and tranquility that you have been building for quite some time, it could be something like you're afraid that if somebody else comes in, they're going to disrupt that in some way. They're going to disrupt your peace and your security. And I think that's probably what's causing that, is because you're kind of like, yeah, it feels almost like you've gotten either comfortable or used to being single or independent or something like that. And so you may be like a little bit closed off to this, because you may even end up rejecting this person. But it doesn't feel like it's permanent. Like this could just be simply like, maybe the way that they approach you kind of gives off red flags, and so you're like, no. But I don't know if like that is a hard no. Because also, like, this person was represented by the King of Pentacles, and you showing up as the Queen of Pentacles, this would be a very beautiful match. So I don't know if it's necessarily that this is, because I think you see that this is a good person, or like this is a good match for you specifically, but I feel like it could get you in your mind, and it could be like, is this too good to be true sort of thing. But something here, I think, either makes you hesitate or reluctant. It almost just feels like maybe the vibes are off. So maybe it's like just not the right day for you. Maybe other things are going on in the background, you know. Maybe you're thinking about other things and you're not really focused on this. Or maybe you feel like, yeah, maybe you even feel like it's an inconvenient time for love even. Because like maybe you're starting to feel like you're finally getting the hang of this single thing, or, you know, doing things independently. You're finally getting the hang of it, and then suddenly somebody wants to come in. And you're like, I don't know if I want to let this person in. I don't know if I can trust them. And part of why I say that, like, this may not be, like, a hard no, and that you may not, like, flat out refuse this person and never speak to them again, is the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So, to me, it tells me that you just need to work together more. Or like you need to see more of this person. Like it feels like the connection between the two of you just needs more something. Whether that's like more time to get to know each other. Maybe you want to figure out like if this will work. Are we compatible? Like it feels like there's a lot that you still want to kind of like work on before like jumping into a commitment, or before yeah, I'm getting the message, putting all your eggs in one basket. Like you, I think, really want to evaluate this person. And not necessarily in a cold or calculating sort of way, but just like as a potential partner, you know? Like I feel like maybe this person that comes in towards you may want to get real hot and heavy, or, you know, like just get really serious really fast. And maybe you're like, no, I'm not really comfortable with that. And maybe you're like putting up your boundaries and you're saying like, I'm not comfortable with that, but I'm comfortable with getting to know you. Like, you know, it could be something as simple as that, where you're like, and maybe you explain yourself to this person. Like, hey, I've kind of been on my own for a little while now, and I'm kind of scared, you know, like give me some time. Like it feels like you just need some time to kind of like think things through and kind of like work more so on building stability between the two of you. That could very well be the case here. Like kind of hold up, like you're going a little bit too strong too fast. Like why don't we like take it step by step, and you know, not like, I feel like you're definitely going to be the one to pump the brakes here, because I feel like you're going to just be like, this may be going a little bit too like too strong too fast is what I'm getting. So it's like, yeah, it's like maybe a little too intense at first, and so maybe you just have to like say like, I need a little bit of space to maybe think this over, or you know, we need more time to get to know each other. Like, it feels like it's something like along those lines. Okay, yeah, like I feel like you're going to be in a very reasonable sort of mindset with this. I don't think you're going to be unfair. I don't think you're going to be spiraling or anything like that. Like, I think you're going to realize what's happening, and you're going to just be as honest as possible. And I think you're setting good standards and like healthy boundaries. It doesn't feel like it's like unfair or excessive. Like, it feels like it's very much the mature thing to do. So good for you. Let's clarify that Three of Swords now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do we got for that Three of Swords? Please and thank you. This is interesting. Clarifying that Three of Swords, we got the Page of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Hanged Man. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. So, there's clearly somebody here that wants to start something new with you. They don't mind if it starts out small. They just really want to see if this is possible to explore something with you. But this is clarifying that Three of Swords. I think that you have been really hurt in the past, especially when it comes to love. Or anybody that was close to you even. Like, it feels like you fear something here, because when you let people close to you, they end up really hurting you or betraying you, and it leaves a lingering, lasting mark on you, on the inside. Like, this is metaphorical, you know? And so it's like, yeah, I see this being quite triggering for you. Yeah, especially if this is like a very positive connection. I think it's naturally going to stir up some of that past hurt, past pain. I think I know what it is. I think you may be worried about love bombing, because love bombing is a technique commonly used by narcissists. And so maybe you're like unsure what is love bombing and what isn't. So maybe if somebody simply comes towards you to express their feelings, your concern is, oh gosh, this must be love bombing, and that means that they're a narcissist or something like that. Like, it feels like you may be a little bit easily triggered with like red flags. Like, you may call, and I'm not trying to call you out specifically, like this is something that I would probably do as well. Like, you may call like certain qualities red flags, or, you know, toxic or something, but it could also just be the way that this person expresses themselves. Or maybe this person is neurodivergent, so they express themselves in a very different way. And it could be that this person has pure intentions. Doesn't mean to love bomb you. Doesn't mean to be toxic. But it could trigger you and make you think the worst of this person. Like, the cards with the golden backgrounds are typically really positive cards. They're like the happier cards in the deck. And so I think that this person actually is pretty genuine. Like, there's something kind of innocent and pretty genuine with this person. So it could definitely be just a case of like, you know, oh, this person's acting kind of like my ex acted at first when we first started getting together. But it feels like this person is actually genuine. And so maybe it will just take you time to sort of look deeper than the surface, or kind of see this person for who they truly are. And that's where I see you kind of taking a step back to kind of like heal, relax, rest, maybe think things over a little bit more. Maybe this is really just a bunch of reflection on that past pain that you went through and realizing, you know, yeah, there could be stuff that you need to heal from the past, like in terms of like maybe even something as simple as like, oh, I was worthy of love the whole time. It could be even like those kinds of revelations where it's like, oh, here's somebody that's like willing to give me everything that I've ever wanted. So why weren't those past people doing that for me? And why did they make me believe that it was me that was the problem? You know, like it could be just simply you reflecting on all of that. Taking time out to sort of take a step back from this person and kind of like really reflecting on your past and how that has affected you and how it still continues to affect you. Because it feels like something that you thought was healed is just being it's resurfacing, you know? And yeah, so it may just be resurfacing so that you can feel through that and sort of work through that. And then the Hanged Man following that, I actually think is a very beautiful thing, because it's like when you're doing this reflection, when you're taking the time out to kind of focus on yourself, focus on whatever it is that you need to focus on, you start seeing things from a different perspective. And maybe this is when you realize, like, oh, I'm kind of just seeing, or I'm kind of projecting red flags onto this person. They may not actually be showing red flags. It's rather just how they trigger me. And I call that a red flag. Maybe it's something like that where you're gaining a new perspective of that. Or it could even be like, oh, this person's actually very genuine. I'm realizing now that, you know, this person has true intentions, or this person is genuine, or, yeah, it could even be something like I'm even getting this specific message about like maybe this person is like very understanding of the fact that you may be triggered or that you've had a rough past and that you need to take a break or a step back to kind of like work through that on a personal level. And maybe that alone shows you that this person is respectful, that this person cares about you making the right choice. And maybe that was even something in your past relationships. Maybe those past relationships that you had, they never gave you that opportunity to take a step back and reflect on things. I feel like, simply just through this person giving you time to reflect, or allowing you to take time for yourself, that could be signs that shows that this person is genuine, that this person genuinely cares about you, genuinely cares about your health, your wellness, and they're not going to try and rush you. It doesn't feel like that at all. I feel like this is a very kind person, somebody that is very much willing to give you that time to take a step back, focus on yourself, focus on this past trauma that's getting triggered. And then when you come back at this, I feel like you're going to be seeing things from a very different perspective. But yeah, you may just need to take some time to kind of figure that out and readjust your perspective. Yeah, because I think that this Three of Swords, whatever that past you have of pain was, the Seven of Cups deals with illusions. So I feel like it really has caused you to have a very unclear view of what love looks like, of what love is. Like, I feel like you're very much like gonna be in your head sort of trying to navigate, like, how do I know what's a red flag and what's not? How do I know if this is toxic or if it's not? Or how do I know that this person's genuine or not? Like, I feel like you're going to be asking yourself a lot of questions, and these questions are going to have to do with like the things that you don't know, your fears, the things that you're not seeing quite clearly yet. And maybe you're even going to realize that like this is, because it feels like this is just like the very, very, very beginning of a possible connection. So maybe like even just taking this time out for yourself and reflecting on this makes you realize like, you know, maybe I should just let this play out naturally, you know? And like obviously if it's just starting out and maybe you two don't know each other super well, like it's gonna take time for these illusions to dissipate. or these fears or whatever it is that's like kind of like fogging up your clarity in this situation. I feel like it's really going to be as simple as, let's just let this play out and trust that I will pick up on those red flags if they come up. And I will trust that spirit will let me know if something is wrong with this person. Like, I feel like a lot of it has to do with like that trust, and that could be very scary, kind of like this blind trust in this new beginning here. So it's like, yeah, I think you're going to be a little bit scared, and you're going to be like, there's so much I don't know about this person. There's so much I don't know about this connection between the two of us. But I feel like a lot of that is just going to naturally come out as a natural process of getting to know each other, of dating, of, you know, spending time with one another. I think you're going to definitely be able to pick up on those things. And I think it may just be a simple releasing of control over the situation, where you're just like, I trust you, spirit, you know, take the wheel. I trust you. Let me know if there's any red flags. Let me know if this person is toxic, you know, like, and maybe you just have to kind of step outside of that ego, because it feels like your ego may be working overtime to protect you when there's not really a clear threat to protect you from, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like it's going to be like in your mind, it's going to be like danger, 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 but I don't think there's actually a real threat. I think it's really just the triggering, you know? And I think that through taking that time to take a step back to kind of reevaluate things, I think that will allow you to see things much clearer. Okay, let's go on to that Four of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, no, there's too many. I'll take that one though. Let's see. Four of Wands, please, thank you. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh. So that Four of Wands clarified by the Death card. Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Devil. Excuse me. That is so interesting. So, if you come into union with this person, it's very likely that something big is transforming. Whether that be your mindsets about romance, or maybe this person did some personal transformation on their end. But honestly, I'm getting, okay, now I'm getting it could be just like the next stage of life. Because in a way, I kind of see the Death card as that. Like, the afterlife, like that's the next part of the spirit, our spirit's life, you know? So like even death is not the ending. There's like another phase after that. But I feel like it's gonna be serious. This, like, honestly, it feels like you're just entering a new phase of something, or a new phase of life. New phase of something. So maybe this could even be like some sort of like current relationship being strengthened, and maybe you're going into the next phase of your relationship. Maybe you're gonna get engaged or something. But it feels like you're just entering like a new phase, but it's like serious in the way of like it's intense, like, and what I'm, yeah, like literally what I'm getting is that this is a new phase that you have never been before, or actually that's like really what I'm getting is like this could be a new phase in which you've never been in this sort of environment before. And I think that could be this union. It could be that this is such a healthy union that you've never been like loved this way. You've never been with somebody in this sort of way. You may not even know how to be in a relationship with somebody that's healthy. Because it feels like this is really significant. And just like in death, you know, we don't know what comes after death. And so going into that next phase of our soul's journey, That can be really scary. And I feel like you may have the same sort of feeling of like, ooh, this is scary. Even if, like, it's going to feel like almost like scary in the way of death. The way that death is kind of scary. I don't think there's going to be any literal death in this situation, of course, but like it feels like it's going to feel just as serious as death, but like not actual death. Like it just feels like it's such a new phase of life that it's going to feel very unfamiliar. And it's like something that I really feel like you've never experienced before. So you have no idea what to expect. Maybe, yeah, like you have no idea what to expect from this. And that can be really scary because humans really love what can be expected, We like to have things that we know exactly how they're going to turn out, that we don't have to experience something new because new can sometimes be dangerous. But our egos kind of scare us, when it comes to new beginnings. So again, it could just be simply your ego being triggered where it's like, this is so new and different for me that I'm scared. But it feels really, really positive though, because this is all clarifying that Four of Wands. So I feel like whatever this is, and even if it's not coming into union with someone, this Four of Wands could be indicating some sort of personal milestone. And that personal milestone could be your own transformation. But yeah, it feels like so like it could be even like your personal milestone being celebrated or coming into union with somebody, and that being a very strong connection that is very healthy and beautiful, but it's scary. It's scary. The Queen of Wands is honestly kind of telling me that you're much more ready for this than you think you are. This new phase of life that you're entering into. Because I think that Spirit sees you as being this Queen of Wands. And so, yeah. You know what? I'm even getting that you may be a very loving and passionate person. And it feels like maybe finally you're going to be receiving that kind of energy back to you. I feel like you're always the person in relationships to have that passion, to have that desire to love. And that could also be what's super scary, is that finally somebody else is giving you all of that you've always been giving to everyone else, and you're not used to that. I feel like it could even be some sort of like reflection or mirroring. Like it's almost like, yeah, that could be in itself triggering, where it's just like the other person is reflecting your beautiful qualities, and then you're like, I think it kind of goes back to that Three of Swords energy where it's like, why didn't people in my past treat me this way? Like, and maybe just realizing that it was never you that was the problem. I feel like something about this is almost like holding a mirror up to yourself. And and I think that's kind of what is triggering about those types of soul partners that we come across that really reflect us back to ourselves, is that it shows us the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, so it triggers a lot of stuff within us when we have somebody that reflects us back to ourselves. And so I feel like you could even go through this period of being kind of triggered and like freaked out a little bit. You may even feel like this other person is like so much like you that it's kind of scary. And again, that could be triggering because narcissists love to reflect our own personalities back to us in the beginning. And I don't know why I keep saying narcissist. I think you might have experienced a narcissist at some point, romantically or maybe otherwise. Yeah, because I feel like it's there's gonna, especially in the beginning, it may mirror a lot of your past relationships, and therefore you're afraid. And honestly, talking of fear, here comes the devil. I think that this is like your past of like having toxic relationships, codependency, like feeling like yeah, codependency is like really coming through really heavily. I think you're so afraid of falling into codependency again. And again, I'm going back to that like message with that Queen of Pentacles earlier. Like you're in such a like a pleasant place, you know. Like I feel like you're either just getting the hang of being independent or single or something, and you just don't want to fall back into that toxic energy. And so it's like it's hanging over you, this fear of the past repeating itself. It's like hanging, like lingering over you or hanging over you, and it feels like this is definitely something that you really need to clear out and have hope, have faith that this is not going to repeat itself. Like I feel like you've been through plenty of cycles with this recurring, and I think that you've hit the point in your journey where that's not going to happen. I feel like, especially with that Death card, you probably transformed a lot. You're not the same person that you were back then when you were in those toxic relationships. Like, especially with that Queen of Wands, you're much more confident, more self-assured now, whether you feel that or not. It has improved since then. So trust that. And trust spirit. Trust that spirit protects you. That will have, that spirit will have your back. Also, the Devil card. This scary dude up here, he looks like he has all the control, right, over the situation. But the people down there actually have very loose chains around their necks. And that is to indicate that they actually have a choice whether they want to remain there or not. And it's funny because it's really just showing that they have all the control in the situation. And the devil in the background is just there to look big and scary and stop us from, you know, taking control over that situation. And so it could be simply that you're realizing that that big bad wolf, you know, like whatever that scary monster is that you're afraid of repeating again, or coming back up, that like repetitive energy of narcissists or toxic people, relationships, I think you're going to realize that it's just a whole lot of scary with nothing to back it up. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that your feelings are invalid. That's not to say that your fear is invalid. And that's not to say that those past relationships were not traumatizing. They definitely weren't. And your feelings are legitimate and valid. But I feel like this could be what you come to the conclusion of after you take this time to reflect, when you take this time to realize what's being triggered within you, why it's being triggered, what it's trying to tell you. Like, I feel like you're definitely going to lean into, like, what are these fears trying to tell me? And how are these fears trying to protect me? And is it helpful? Is it really protecting me? Or is it trying to hold me, or is it just holding me back right now? And I kind of have to release this if I want to move forward with my life. It feels like something like that. Like, very much you're going to go through this period of time where you're really looking at your past, looking at your current, and, you know, I think you're going to realize that you have way more control and way more power than you previously felt or realized. Yeah, especially with that Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a powerful woman, so apply to any gender. Very much a powerful person, very capable. So I think you're going to realize that. Let's go into that Ace of Pentacles, please, and thank you, Spirit. Oh, I see. Clarifying that Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, the Tower card in the reverse, Eight of Cups, Ten of Wands, bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. I actually really like this because it's showing me, like, here you have a new opportunity, the Ace of Pentacles, but you're stuck in your head with that Two of Swords. You don't really know if this is right for you. You don't know if this is what, like, if you can trust this. I also feel like you sense that this connection, or whatever this new beginning is, it's really going to shake up your life. And maybe I'm getting the message that nothing's ever going to be the same again. And I feel like you may be trying to postpone that from happening because you know it's going to shake up your life so much, because you know that things will never be the same again. But it feels like it's a very necessary tower moment. Like, even if it is chaotic at first, like, the pieces will fall where they're supposed to. Yeah, so I feel like you may have a very strong fear right now of this new beginning because it feels like it's gonna just shake things up so much for you. And I feel like you're afraid of that. And that's okay. Like, it's totally normal to be afraid of change and for things to shake up your life. But I think it's also important to remember that those things that shake up our life can sometimes shake up things for the better and for our own growth, our own happiness, our own contentment. There's so many beautiful things that can come out of a tower moment that are positive, that are beautiful, that are worth celebrating. And so it's like, maybe you will come to that realization that, you know, it may be scary, it may be chaotic at first because you have to adjust to it, but it feels like it could be a very positive tower moment that needs to take place. Again, I'm feeling there's like a sense of comfort that you feel like in the present moment, or like before this person comes towards you. And so it's almost like, yeah, I feel like you're just so worried that the peace that you've built up, all of that self-work that you've been doing on yourself, I feel like you're afraid that that's all going to become undone when this person tries to come into your life. But then I feel like you're realizing that that way of thinking about things is not emotionally fulfilling you. And so you leave that way of thinking behind and go towards your true happiness, I think. And I think maybe you realize that there is an opportunity here for new growth, for expansion. Like, even if it is just on a personal level where you're evolving spiritually, becoming more enlightened, like, I feel like you're going to realize the importance of this moment or the importance of this connection. And you're going to do what is on your divine path. And you're going to remove anything that is either holding you back or that is not on your divine path. And then the 10 of Wands after that. Yeah, you may have been even holding on to like these like mindsets, ideas, especially around romance, passion, that kind of stuff. You may have been holding on to this kind of stuff, this way of thinking, for quite some time. And I think you're getting to the point where you're like, you're done holding on to that past. You're done holding on to like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? All that stuff, like that overthinking, that stuff that just kind of puts more weight on your shoulders than is necessary. I think you're going to realize, like, wait, why am I making this so much harder for myself than I need to? And then you're going to lay down that burden because you're realizing, I don't need to carry all this weight around. I don't need to carry around all this baggage. Like, and I think you're going to realize, like, this is just holding me back. It's just weighing me down, holding me back, making me insecure. So let me release that, because I deserve to have a happy beginning. I deserve to have this fresh new beginning filled with growth, expansion, and happiness. And then with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, I feel like you're going to be taking or stepping into this sort of energy. Because like the Queen of Swords is very clear-minded, because like the blue sky in the background is supposed to represent how she's seeing things clearly. I think you're going to reach this point of clarity where you're just like, wait, what am I doing? Like, honestly, what am I doing? Like, I feel like you're going to, especially if you are able to take a step back and view things more objectively and not as like not as if you were like personally tied to the situation like you are. Like, I feel like you're gonna take a step back and realize, wait a second, like, this person seems genuine, seems like a nice person, I'm attracted to them. Like, because of the Two of Cups, definitely you're attracted to this person or feel similar to them. So I feel like this could be like your ideal match as well. And so it's like, I think you're gonna realize, like, especially when you dive deep into this and you're like overthinking and you're reflecting on things and you realize that you're scared of this new beginning, you're scared of like what's gonna happen, you know, all of that. But then you just reach this point in your thinking and your reflection journey and you're just like, wait a second, I think I might, like, I might be overreacting, which, you know, like, I don't know if there's any such thing, you know, because we always are reacting how we think. Is necessary, you know? Like, we always, like, whether it's triggered by our ego or whatnot. Anyways, don't know where I was going with that, but, I actually really like this, too, because it's like, you're not, like, she still has her sword up, right? So she's not, like, putting down her defenses. At least not yet. I feel like you're gonna be guarded, but, like, if you notice, her other hand is open, as if to say, come here. I want to hear what you have to say, or maybe even take my hand. But I'm still holding the sword, though. So, like, I'm protecting myself, but I'm open to what you have to say. I'm open to what you have to offer. I'm open to what you are trying to do here. And so I think you're going to reach that moment where you're like, as long as I have my boundaries, as long as I can be truthful and honest with this person, you know, and I think you also are realizing you have a lot of more control in this situation than you think you do, or you thought you did. Especially because I feel like this person really respects you. And like I said, it seems like they're going to be very open-minded and allow you that time to reflect, to work on yourself, work on your stuff behind the scenes. And, you know, that to me shows that this is somebody that is genuine and genuine about how they feel about you. And so I feel like they're, you know, if you show up in this Queen of Swords energy, they're going to love every second of it. Like, honestly, no matter how you show up, it feels like this person is very devoted to you. So, like, I don't think you're going to scare this person off very easily. I'm getting they may even find it hot that you have these boundaries. Or, yeah, something about it is very attractive that you have your guard up, because, like, maybe it shows that you are very, like, you have self-respect, you know, you value yourself, you're not dumb, like, you're very much, like, yeah, I think that, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm getting that message that they could find that very attractive. That, yeah, maybe if, like, you do turn this person down at first, like, they find that very attractive that you have, like, boundaries, or that you have the ability to say no. Like, something about that is very attractive to this person. I think they really like the power that you contain. And I think how you gained this power was from your past of being mistreated. Yeah, again, narcissists. I think something happened in your past with narcissists, or just somebody that was very toxic. Could have even been somebody that, like, had the symptoms of narcissism. Yeah. You went through a lot of pain in your past, so, like, obviously you are going to have your guard up around this person, at least at first. But you're going to be open to them, eventually. I think you may need a moment to kind of, like, take a step back and kind of reevaluate, but I think ultimately you're going to realize, like, I'm protecting myself, Spirit's got my back, like, it's so fine. We can open up to this person, we can talk to this person, we can get to know this person more. Like, the world's not going to end if I start talking to somebody to get to know them for a romantic partner. Like, the world's not going to end if I am romantically interested in someone and they are interested in me. Like, you know, I think you're going to come to this point where you're thinking much more rationally, much more logical, but not, like, completely cut off from the emotions. I think you're going to still have that emotional part of it, but yeah, Like, I think you're going to come at it from a very logical perspective. Like, I'm going to have my guard up, but I'm also going to be open to this because I think that there's great potential in this. Yeah. So that is the reading. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it resonated for you. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you next time I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.